It's a lot of moving parts to this thing. It works, it's just a lot of moving parts. I need to get one other thing going before I let these guys in. Running a little bit late today. Okay, cool. Okay. Let's go like this. And then let's let these guys in. And let's go ahead and share. We want to share this one and this one. Share. All right, welcome, gentlemen. Just taking attendance, and we'll get the party started. Mm. Okay. How's it going? All right. Let me see. So sorry for the late start today. I decided to do section. I went on to did lecture 1.5, and that's what caused me to be late. I thought I would just let you guys in the middle of it, but I was almost done, so I just went on and finished. So that's what caused us to be late. With all these sessions that I'm doing, just be aware that I am live streaming these, so you can get a copy. I'm going to go ahead and suppress my audio, just so I can focus. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's family's doing well. You know, with everything, with the hurricanes and things. That's these things are, ugh. That's life. Not to be blunt. Not I don't mean it like in a blunt way. I'm just like, it just sucks because it's like you have to like get to this point where not that you become immune to stuff, but it's just like you learn how to process all this suffering and strife that we experience as humans, right? Whether it's direct or indirect or personal or impersonal, you just learn how to will and deal. It's unfortunate, but that's kind of how things are until we can do better. Um, So yeah, I was sharing that like right before I let you right before now, like with my previous class, I was doing section 1.5. I do not have the energy to do the lecture for 1.6, so I'm not going to do it right now. But we are ahead. The main thing that you need to be aware of is that exam one will be available next Wednesday, right? So it's going to be on Pearson. I did go. All of your homework for the semester is available, and all of your quizzes for the semester is available, right? I'm not going to add any more homework and quizzes other than what's there right now. Only thing left for me to add are the exams, and those will become available once we get closer to those times. So, and also the lectures are actually available as well. I'm just doing a fresh set just to be doing a fresh set. But essentially, the same things, the things that I want to say is already recorded in my previous sessions with the students from the spring. So yeah, we have exam one, and for exam one, you're only responsible for the first three sections. So sections 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3. I just did lecture for 1-5 today. Let me get the student in here. These names are really interesting. Like I just want to have a conversation about several names that I see. I have questions for people, but I'm not gonna put people on blast like that right now. Um, I mean, so many other names. Um, yeah. So exam one next Wednesday over the first three sections. The quizzes for the semester are the quizzes are kind of going to be a little bit more indicative of how the exams are going to be, right? So when you go to take the quiz, it should be only like 5 questions, but you'll notice you won't have the support, but you'll still get unlimited attempts and things of that nature. I don't mind sharing the following nugget as well. When you get onto your exam, it's still unlimited attempts, but you'll notice that each time you take the exam, it's going to be a different exam. It's the same content and same material, but it's going to be a different exam. And every time you take it, it'll change. So you want to do the best you can to be comfortable with the content, you know, like the concepts. You want to be comfortable with the concepts as best you can before you go into the exam. But you get unlimited attempts. You could potentially earn 100% starting from next Wednesday up until Monday at 9 a.m. But after Monday at 9 a.m., you still got unlimited attempts, but the highest you can earn is a 90, right? Because I think any question submitted after the deadline, you can only earn 90%. If you have questions, feel free to type in the chat. I do monitor the chat or raise your hand. I did suppress the audio just so I could focus. Um, so what I wanted to do today with you all, I really just wanted to work some more homework questions. I think last time we were kind of making our way through section 1.1. So if you put all my sessions with the students together on Monday, then you'll have essentially all the questions from section 1.1. And then I think with my class this morning, we started on section 1.2. So with you all, I'm going to pick up where I left off with them for section 1.2, right? So if you put all the sessions together with all the students, you'll get all the homework questions. And again, this is just the way I'm doing it. This is not necessarily the only way or the best way. This is just a way, right? Oftentimes, the tutors and your classmates, you all discover ways that I feel like are more efficient. So whenever you all share those more efficient ways with me and it makes sense to me, I share it with students going forward, right? So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop over to Pearson. Let me make sure our YouTube family can see what they need to see. We're going to hop to Pearson. I think you guys can see this. And we're just going to kind of keep working with section 1.2, right? So I know we're showing question 18. This is just where I left off with my class from this morning. And again, right before you all, the reason we were kind of getting started a little late, I was wrapping up section 1.5 lecture. So that lecture is available. You don't have to watch it right now. This week, you should be at least comfortable with sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Right, that's this week. Next week is exam one. Then the week after that is where we start section 1.4. So we're actually a little bit ahead, which is totally okay. Okay, let me kind of oh no. Let me rearrange my desk. It sounds like there was an explosion, but no, it was just me being clumsy. I'm rearranging my desk. Okay, so this is section 1.2. Hopefully you've taken a look at this. And again, if you would like me to work on a specific, let me let the student in. If you'd like me to work on a specific question, you just have to get my attention. Either raise your hand. This person popped out. Let me not give them credit just yet. Let me give them a chance to get back in. We can go over specific questions. Else, I'm just going to kind of keep making my way chronologically through as many questions as I can. If you do want me to go over a question, if you want me to do your question specifically, use the Ask My Instructor. So as you're going through on your own, right here, you should be able to see my screen. Click on the View an Example if you need help. Sit down with your tutors and your classmates and work together. I think that's a great idea. I encourage it. Let me see this student. Just be aware that, like, there's going to come a time when you're going to have to show what you've learned, right? So you can kind of finesse a few things here and there, but it'll catch up to you. So you want to do the best you can to kind of like, you know, we're still asynchronous. We are asynchronous, so you're not obligated to stay. My recommendation is just still be present and just work on your homework. Use this time to go ahead and get your assignments done. So like if you're able to finish it now, when the weekend comes, you're done. And just keep it, just listen, just kind of chill. That's what I would do. But again, I'm treating you guys like an adult, like adults, right? So the decision is yours. You know what you need to do. As long as you do what you need to do, it's not a big deal. At some point in your life, you have to start making decisions for yourself. Not necessarily good or bad. You just got to start deciding for yourself, and then hopefully you start to be. You get to a point. The sooner you start making decisions for yourself, the sooner you can start making good decisions for yourself. Right? I feel like we get babied a little bit too much. So you're an adult. You have common sense, and if you don't have it, you will get it. Like trust me. Like it'll come. Like you just got to give it some time, and you have to trust it. I like to write on graph paper. Okay. So we're gonna make our way through here. I'm going to leave the attendance for right now. Let's see. It says the equations of two lines are given. Determine if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither, right? Yeah, I'm going to take some notes here. I need to do view and seamless. Okay, that's better. Okay. This is fine. So this is question number 18. And again, I worked on the earlier, like the first few questions with my class from this morning. And it's one playlist that has all the sessions, and then there's a second playlist with just the lectures, right? Okay. So this is question number 18. It comes from section 1.2, question 55. Okay. I'm going to use my shorthand. It says I'm going to write like my shorthand for parallel. I'm just taking some notes right now. Parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Okay. Then we have these two equations. We got this negative 8x minus 4y equals negative 9. And we also have 2x minus 8y equals 7. Okay, so I was just taking some notes. Let's hop over to the tablet and see the notes that I was just taking. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. We are streaming. It looks healthy. Audio's checking. And I think you guys can hear me okay. Okay, I'm going to keep moving. Okay, so this is my shorthand for parallel, perpendicular, or neither, right? And so basically this question is asking us to determine if these lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So whenever we have this discussion of parallel, perpendicular, or neither, all it's really saying is compare and contrast the slopes. You have two different slopes. Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, the slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. And then neither, then it's neither of those cases are the case, right? So let's find the slope of each of these lines. So let's do the first one in blue. All right, I'm going to do this one style. Let's do it in blue. So the slope of the first line, to find the slope, let's just solve for y. So let me get a copy. We got this negative 8x minus 4y equals negative 9. So if we solve for y, right, I'm going to add the 4y, use the inverse operation. I'm going to move the 4y to the right, and I'm going to move that 9 to the left. Okay. A number plus its opposite is 0. A number plus its opposite is 0. And if we write what's left over, wish I had done it the other way. I'm going to make another change. I'm just doing it like this so that my y is on the left. We get 4y, we get 4y equals, we got negative 8x plus 9, right? I just switched it around because I wanted my y on the other side. Hopefully that's okay for you guys. 4y, negative 8x plus 9, right? The 8x and the 9 are unlike terms. We can't add those together, so they stay separate. Then I just switched the order. I moved the left to the right and the right to the left, okay? Of the equal sign. Because I just wanted the y on the left side. I could have did it a different way, but this is fine. Okay, so then the next thing, if we're trying to isolate the y, we're trying to get the y by itself. So if we want to move that 4 away from the y, again, we have to use the inverse operation. So what's the inverse operation of multiplication? Inverse of multiplication is division. I'm going to do a little bit of a shortcut. Because we're dividing by a monomial, we can do the following. We really want to divide the entire right-hand side by 4, but because we're dividing by one term, we can do it in this fashion. A number divided by itself is 1, okay? So on the left, we get our y, our isolated y. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. X comes down. I'm going to leave that as 9 over 4, right? So now it should be clear that the slope of this first line is negative 2, right? Slope of the first line is negative 2. Okay. I'm going to do the second one. What's another color? I guess I can do purple. Let's do green. We'll do the second one in green. All right. So we're just basically going to do the same thing. Solve for y. So we have 2x minus 8y equals 7. Hopefully you have a homework notebook where you're being neat and organized. You get a copy of the original question, label it with the question ID so you know where it's coming from. You show all of your supporting work and box your final answer. Obviously, if we're doing remote, I can't stop you from, referring to your notes. So if you have your notes and it's neat and organized and you can quickly flip through it, you'll be golden. But if you're not organized and you don't have any reference point, whatever the opposite of golden is, that's what you'll be. Right? All right. Since I want to keep, I'm going to show you what I kind of did. Well, I'm just going to do this a little bit different. Again, because I want the y on the left, instead of moving the y back and forth and all that, I'm just going to move the x, right? So if I want to move the x to the right-hand side, if we have a positive 2x, the inverse operation is going to be subtraction. So subtract 2x from both sides, right? The reason I didn't do this initially is because I was trying to minimize my negatives, but it's okay. All right, a number plus its opposite adds to 0. Okay, so now what we're left with, on the left we have negative 8y. On the right we have negative 2x plus 7, right? Again, now, if we're trying to get the y by itself, since we have a negative 8 times y, the inverse operation of multiplication is going to be division. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 8. And because we're dividing by a monomial, again, I do want to divide the whole right side by negative 8, but because we're dividing by one term, we can do it this way, which is much easier to see. A number divided by itself is 1. On the left, we're left with y equals negative 2 divided by negative 8 is a positive 1 by 4, x. 7 divided by negative 8 is a negative 7 by 8. Okay. So then the slope of line 2 is a positive 1 by 4. All right, did we do this right? 8 divided by 4 is 2. Yeah, I think so. So the first slope was a negative 2. The second one is a positive 1 by 4. So this is neither. If that were a positive 1 by 2, then it would be perpendicular, but that's not what we got. So this looks like it's neither. Let me write neither. Put it in a box, and we're going to hop back over to Pearson to see how do we do. Okay. All right, let's hop over to Pearson. We got neither when we did this one. Now you may or may not get something different. These are algorithms, so they change up. Yeah. Next question. Write an equation of a line containing a given point and parallel to the given line. Okay, let's take some notes here. Oh, again, anything that you see me writing, you can actually pull a copy. I make it available on our Blackboard page. Okay, what's the time? I think I'm gonna go ahead and suppress and do the attendance real quick. So we're missing a good amount of students. That student popped in and out. Like they never made it into my anyway. They'll have to come back. And again, attendance, another thing I want you guys to be aware, attendance doesn't affect your grade. It's more so for records. It only becomes an issue once we get like either 3 or 4, especially at 4 unexcused absences, then an administrator might come looking for you and like they're gonna, you can kind of mess up your money and waste your time. So, just be careful about that. Yeah, I do intend to, like, once we finish this section, I do intend to go to 1.3. If you have a question from something from 1.3, we can talk about it. We can go straight to your question. So, just to kind of be efficient with our time. This one is taking me a little bit longer than I originally anticipated, but that's okay. Write an equation of a line containing this point and parallel. Okay, so let me take some notes here. This is question number 19 from Pearson. This comes from section 1 to question number 57. We're going to say find a line parallel through the point. We got 7 comma -5 and parallel to this line. 3x minus 7y equals 9. Okay, I was taking some notes. Let's hop over to the tablet and show it for our YouTube family. Okay. So we want a line that's parallel to the given line through this point, right? So if it's parallel, that means it needs to have the same slope. So let's get a copy. We get this 3x minus 7y equals 9. Let's find the slope. So basically the same thing we were just doing, solve for y. First thing I'm going to do, move this 3x to the other side by using the inverse operation. A number plus its opposite adds to 0. On the left side of the equal sign, the 7y persists. On the right side, we have this negative 3x plus 9. Unlike terms, so we can't add those together. Next, if we want to solve for y, inverse operation of multiplication is division. And because we're dividing by a monomial, we can break it apart in this fashion. A number divided by itself divides to 1. Okay. So on the left side of the equal sign, we have y. Negative 3 divided by negative 7 becomes a positive 3 by 7x. 9 divided by negative 7 is a negative 9 by 7, right? So if we want a line that's parallel to this line, that means the slope needs to be a positive 3 by 7. Okay, so we have a slope of 3 by 7, and it needs to pass through the point 7, -5. Let's see the time. I think we might be able to get there. Okay, I'm just going to use the slope intercept because I feel like it's easier, which is the y equals mx plus b, and plug in what we have. So our y that we have is the -5. The slope is 3 by 7. The x value is 7, and the y-intercept is what we're solving for. So then if we isolate, notice that you got a 7 on top, cancels the 7 on bottom. So then b is going to be equal to the -5 minus 3, which is -8. Okay. So then the equation of our line is going to be y equals 3 by 7x minus 8. For the sake of time, I'm not going to check it. I'm just going to plug it into Pearson. Okay. Ooh, I need to get some agua. Let's hop over to Pearson. The equation of the line. I'm just going to go with it. Hopefully we didn't make any mistakes. 3 by 7, x, that's not an x, x minus 8. Okay. Let me check the chat really quickly. The chat is quiet. Okay, so I'm going to keep moving. How many more do we have? Can I see my questions? We're on question number 20. So like 3. That's probably going to take us to the end of class. Write the equation of the line perpendicular to this. Okay, so this is kind of a repeat. Let's go ahead and do it since we're here. I'm going to do a little bit faster though. This is question 20. This comes from section 1.2, question 59. Find the line perpendicular to, we got this 4x plus 7y equals 9 through 6 comma negative 2. Okay, I think that's all that we need. Let's hop back over to the tablet. Cool. Okay. So if we want a line that's perpendicular, we need to find this slope and then take the negative reciprocal. So if we're solving for y, let me just get a copy. I'm literally just going to copy and paste. Okay. So if we're solving for y, we can subtract 4x on both on the left and right side of the equal sign. A number plus its opposite adds to 0. On the left side of the equal sign, we're left with 7y. On the right side, we have this negative 4x plus 9, right? We're dividing by a monomial, so we divide both sides by 7. It's kind of the same thing, just with different numbers, right? Same arguments. So then y equals a negative 4 by 7x plus 9 by 7. So if we want so that means our slope is going to be the negative reciprocal of that. So our slope should be 7 by 4, positive 7 by 4, through the point 6 comma negative 2. And I'm going to use my slope intercept, which is y equals mx plus b. My y is negative 2. My slope is 7 by 4. My x is 6. And b is what we're solving for. Notice that the 4 and the 6 are both divisible by 2. So we can factor out a 2. This is going to turn into a 2. This is going to turn into a 3. Okay. So if we subtract that number from both sides, b is going to be equal to negative 2 minus 21 over 2. So then that's going to become negative 4 over 2 minus 21 over 2, which is negative 25 over 2. So that's our y-intercept. Okay. So then the equation of our line should be y equals 7 over 4x minus 25 over 2. Okay. So I just went with it. The numbers do look a little off. That might be a warning, but I'm going to go with it because sometimes they do work out like this. So I'm just going to go with it. Okay, let's go to Pearson. Okay, let me make sure our YouTube family can see it. Okay. Equation of the line. Let's see what happens. 7 over 4 x, that's not x, minus 25 over 2. Oh, equations, right? So we need y equals. It is some kids or dogs out there. They are having like the time of their life. I don't know where they are. I can just hear them. They sound like they're just having so much fun. They have like been keeping up noise. I feel like an old boy saying, "You darn kids, stop making all that malarkey outside." Let me send this message. That's, I mean, not that I encourage the kids to be outside and play. That's reassuring. Give me just a second. Sure. Give me just a moment. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna make it to. I should have put the time. I don't even know if I got the time right. Let me check something. I forgot all that stuff. It's okay. Okay, let's look at this one. Let me make sure they can see. Okay. So it says it costs a $15 flat fee to rent a lawnmower plus $2 a day starting with the first day. Let X represent the number of days rented, so Y represents the charge to the user in dollars. Write an equation in the form of Y equals mx plus b that represents the situation. It costs a $15 flat fee plus $2 a day, right? I'm just, for the sake of time, 2x plus 15, right? No, go away. So come on, stop that. So for instance, if it's day 0, we're just starting, it costs $15, right? After 1 day, it's $15 plus the $2 for that day is $17, so on and so on, right? What we could do is make a table. When x is 0, it should cost 15. After 1 day, it should cost 15 plus 2. After 2 days, it should cost 15 plus 4, so on and so on. Once you have a table, assuming that it's linear, we can find the equation of the line through all those points. Long story short, this will be the equation of the line, right? But you know how to find the equation of a line through 2 points. That's what we've been doing all the while. Find the slope, use the slope-intercept form to solve for b. I think we're given b, actually, so you know how to find it. Just make a table. The ordered pair associated with the x value 5. So when x is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, so that's going to be 25. It says an ordered pair, so we want 5, 25. Should cost, so 5 days should cost $25. Okay. Let's see the time. On my clock saying 3:30, 33. 33 is fine. The shipping department of a warehouse has noted that if 80 packages are shipped during a month, the total expenses for the department are $16.35. If 120 packages are shipped, the total expenses are this. Let X represent the number of packages and Y represent the total expenses. Answer the following questions. Interpret the meaning of this point in the context of the problem. When 80 packages are shipped, the expense is $16.35, right? Yeah, it's part A. A is the only one that makes sense. On to the next one. Okay. Part B, can we go on? Let me see if I hit enter. Okay. Part B, plot, right? So when X is 80, we're at 1635. This could be right. And then 120. Let me see something. So it can't be B because that's, yeah. Because when X is 0, it's not at 1635, right? So this one's not right. If that's 40, 80 should be over here. The only one that really looks correct is A. I'm just going to go with A. I just basically plotted the points. I did a little bit quickly. Can I just hit enter? That would have been nice. Let's see. Find the linear equation. So basically find the equation of the line through the 2 points. Let me finish this one out and then I'll check the chat. Let me see. I don't feel like doing it. But let's just knock it out. I'm just gonna do it. Suck it up and do it, right? So this is question 22. It's not a 2. This comes from section 1.2, question 67. And all I really want to do is find the equation of the line through the 2 points. So we got this 80, 1635. And then we have this 120. I'm gonna check the chat in a moment. I saw it. 1735. So I just took some notes. Let's hop over to the tablet. Okay. So basically we want to find the equation of the line through these 2 points. So we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. The slope is Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. That's our slope. So Y2 is this 1735 minus 1635 over 120 minus 80. Okay, I'm going to use my calculator real quick. We got 1735 minus 1635. Oh, duh. Okay. So the top is 100. The bottom, what is that? 20 and 20 is 40. So then that's the same as 10 over 4, which is what? 5 over 2, right? That's our slope. Then for the y-intercept, we're going to choose a point. So now I like to go to y equals mx plus b. I'm going to choose the first point, just choosing one. I'm going to plug in 1635 The slope is 5 by 2. The x is 80. The only thing we don't know is the y-intercept, right? So then b is going to be equal to the 1635 minus 5 by 2 times 80. All right, we just need to crunch the number. 80 divided by 2 is 40. 5 times 4 is 20, so that's 200, right? So this is 1635 minus 200, which is 1435. Okay? So then the equation of the line should be y equals 5 by 2x plus 1435. Okay, let's go with this. Now we could check. We need to make sure that like those ordered pairs both work in this formula. I'm just going to go with it for the sake of time. Style, I don't want it thicker. I'm just going to go with it for the sake of time. Okay, let's hop over to Pearson. And the equation that we got, y equals 5 by 2, nope, 5 by 2x, is it x? Plus 1435. Okay, I'm going to go with it. All right. I think that was the, use the equation found in part C to find the total expenses during the month. So if x is 160, let me see. So 160 divided by 2 is what, 80? 5 times 8 is 40, so that's 400. So it should be 1835. So 400 plus 1435, it should be 1835. Okay. Interpret the slope. What are we comparing? Units. The slope is what, a positive 5 by 2? It costs $2.50 to ship one package. Is that correct? Let me look at my formulas. It does not cost $16.50. Expenses increase. Yeah, expenses increase by $2.50 for each additional package. Yeah, that's better. Because if we plug in a 1 into our formula, we don't get an answer of $2.50, right? And the expenses don't decrease every time you add packages, they increase, right? So we're gonna go with this. Okay, I think we can, let's check the chat. Let me see the time. We're essentially there. We got like 5 minutes. I did not make it to 1-3. Let me check the chat. I have homework to work on for other classes. No worries. Okay. So let's see. Let me see the time. We got like 5 minutes. I just want to keep it for like 5 more minutes. That was section 2022. Okay, let's see. Is that it? Was that the last one? Okay. Okay, guys. I think I might let you go. Do you guys? If there aren't any burning questions, I'm actually going to let you go because I kind of need to take a break for myself. If there aren't any burning questions, just keep making your way through. So the exam next week is only over sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Keep making your way through those assignments, and yeah, I'm here if you have questions. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. So there was a question to review the topic. The main thing is you want to make your way through the homework. I've recorded all the lectures and all the presentations. What I would do if you feel lost, if you could find either a classmate, if you can't find a classmate, just hit up the tutors and like try to connect with the tutors and sit down with them. And they'll go, I mean, they're just sitting there, you know, and if one tutor has to leave, you can connect with another one. But I would definitely just sit down with the tutors because it is a lot of information, right? Yeah, that's my recommendation is just connect with the tutors. I'm not sure if the tutors have officially been set up yet, but they're there. If they're not there, they'll be there shortly. In the meantime, you just want to make your way through the homework that's on Pearson, right? That you access it through Blackboard. Yeah, that's the main thing. Okay, and then just contact the math department and say, hey, I need to sit down with the tutors. How do I connect with the tutors? And they'll tell you. They'll give you all that information. Okay. All right. Take care, guys. For me, what you could do, As you're making your way through the questions on Pearson, again, I kind of talk. My energy is kind of like this, so you kind of know how and what I'm gonna say. But when you're going through Pearson, use the Ask My Instructor, and I'll just give you. I'll create like a video walking you through it as best I can, right? But I think the tutors are valuable because y'all are closer in age. It seems like it's easier for you guys to communicate, and it's like if you can get a good classmate that gets it, that's even better, right? Because y'all are kind of having a similar experience, and a lot of times you all think similarly, versus when I explain it, it's usually information overload. So I'm trying to still work on my presentation. It's going to be accurate, but it might be too much information. So between your classmates and tutors, and I'm available too. It's just, I generally know how these things go. Okay, guys, I'm going to log off for a few minutes. Take care. Have a good weekend. Let's